Hello, in this video I'm going to go over the cleanup tool. So the cleanup tool is a diagnostic tool to help you work cleanly with when you're modeling. So it would be under mesh and then go up to cleanup and then go to the cleanup option box. I'm going to reset the settings so you'll see what it looks like by default. I never really use the cleanup matching polygons. I always do selecting. I want to be able to make the choices. Sometimes this will clean up in ways that I don't like, so I always do select matching polygons, and then I do four-sided faces. So that's how I would always do it. Don't do the cleanup part because that might cause some problems. I'm going to select my all my pieces of geo, and then hit apply, and then I'm going to hit shift, and this will select all the good geometry automatically. So we're going to invert the selection. So I'm going to hold down shift, left click, and drag over the object, and I can hit 4, and then I don't see any objects in there, and I can hit F, and if I don't see anything, if I don't focus on an object, say I press F in case there's something really small, so something like that, and I can't really see it, I'm going to hit F, and it will move my camera close to it, and then I can move around. If you still can't see it, sometimes you get some weird geometry where it's super thin or it's almost just a line. You can move it out of the way, and sometimes for those instances I would just delete it and then see if you can maybe delete that part of the model and recreate it for when you have those really thin pieces, or you'll have to see per case basis. But so let's add some problem areas. So I'm gonna delete some edges. I'll delete this edge, make that n-gon. I'll make some floating vertices there. That, and then I'll make a triangle down here. So this whole piece pretty much a large portion of this side will be not selected because this will select all the good parts. So also all the four-sided faces. This will select all the n-gons and triangles. This is what we're trying to avoid. And now I'm going to shift select over it and hit F. And you see it focused on my object, and then I can also move it if you're not seeing it. Now we can try to fix this. So if you see stuff like this, then I use multi-cut a lot, so I'm just gonna fill it in the flow of the object through there, that edge loop going through. When you see these vertices, you can just delete them by hitting, selecting them and delete. If this is an enclosed airtight object, you can select all the vertices and hit delete, and it will get rid of them. You'll have some issues if you have a open model that has like a hole in a corner. It will delete the corners of the model, so just be aware of that. It's not an issue if you have an enclosed piece, which should be pretty much all pieces except for maybe the handle. And then for this triangle, I can just delete that, and it will create a quad there. And just to double check, I can select that and shift select, hit F. I didn't focus on anything. If I hit 4, I don't see anything highlighted, and then that looks good. All right. So once you've done the cleanup, another thing that you should watch out for is how your topology works. So a general rule of thumb is you kind of want a gradation of your geometry. So I'm going to close this. So you kind of want to go from like a small, if you have a supporting edges, you want to go from like a medium size to a larger. You don't want to go from small to large. For instance, if I were to select these, and I'll delete all, So I deleted all those inside edges, and I'm going to hit 3. Oh, and another way, this is a good point. If I hit 3 now, when you see stuff like this where it's like wobbly, that's acting in a way where there's probably something going on with the geometry. So just watch out for that. Maybe I have a floating vert. Yep, I have one right there. Hit F and hit delete. Now if I hit 3, you should see a pretty clean grid. But the issue with this is now when I look at this and hit 3, you see the shearing that happened. There's not a nice rounded bevel that happens. And that's the issue. So we want this to look nice when we add displacement and textures, and we're asking too much with this bevel. So I'm going to go over here and add those edge loops. So I'm going to go from small to like a medium, like this, and then I'm going to add some here. I'm going to go put one right here and one here, and I'm trying to make it even. So if you have ones that are like this, where it's like small, big, and then it goes small for no reason, and then it's medium, it doesn't really make sense. It's not clean. So you want it to you want the detail to make sense where you're adding it. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put mesh and hit mirror, and then I'm just going to move these out so that they're more even. That scaling them away from each other, something like this. And you could even just, I might even just add another one in the center here, since we're going to be very close to this, like this close to it, and we're going to have stuff on top that we're modeling. Another thing to watch out for is pieces that are going into the model. So like this gives a really unnatural transition into the object, so it makes it feel very sharp, whereas it should look like two pieces of wood on top of each other that are like nailed together. When they're like this, it's a very big tell that it's a 3D object, and it's a bit sloppy looking. So try to be as clean as possible with your work, and try to this is the foundation of your image, of your animation that we're going to be making and render. So try to do this well. All right, thanks.